Alright, this is the introductory video for U.S. History 1483. This is American history up to 1865, till the Civil War, for online classes. If you're watching this video, then I already know you know how to get into D2L, so I'm just going to skip over that part. This is our course homepage. No news in there right now, but watch this space because I use the news section very frequently. I put up links to interesting things. I remind you of due dates, so keep your eye on that. Keep your eye on the calendar as well. I put due dates there. I put due dates everywhere, so there's no really excuse for missing information. The first and probably, well, you'll need to check your grades, but the most important place that you'll look is the content folder. Just about everything you need is going to be under here. This is where I keep your syllabus, your schedule, your readings, links to the lecture videos, everything. Obviously, the first module up there conveniently says, do this first. So let's do this first. The syllabus is there. The syllabus has my information on it. My email, my phone number, my office hours. It's got information about the textbooks. There is an online textbook that we are using absolutely free of charge. However, there is a readings pack over in the NEO bookstore that you will need to have. It's not very expensive. It's under $10, but you do need to have it for this semester. Of course, you need internet capabilities. You need to be at least above novice on using an internet connection. It's also got information about college policies, about my policies, like my plagiarism policy, which is don't do it. My late work policy, which is also pretty much don't do it. And you can look at this at your leisure. And the convenient thing about this new D2L is you can just hit next and go on to the next document, which is the schedule for this semester. The schedule tells you week by week. Weeks go from Monday morning at 12 a.m. to Sunday at 11:59 at night. It tells you week by week what the name of the video is that you're going to be watching. It gives you links to the online textbooks, so you can just click on those. And it also tells you when you have assignments due, what assignment is due this particular week. For example, in week 2, due by Sunday, January 26th this semester at 11:59 p.m. on D2L, is a Unit 1 readings quiz. Now there is a condition on this. You won't be able to access it until you've completed the course rules statement, which we will get to in just a moment. But the schedule tells you exactly what you need to read for that quiz. And it tells you where to find those documents. Most of them are on D2L for this particular unit. One of them is in the course pack. There are other units where most of them are in the course pack, and you have maybe one on D2L. But you always know what's going to be due. You always know where to find that information, because it tells you on the schedule. And next up is that course rules statement. I'm kind of a stickler for my rules. And I insist that you acknowledge and accept my rules before I will grade anything that you want to turn in. Let's look at a preview of that, if it will allow me to. My rules are not a secret. I understand that the lectures for this class are never going to be in a classroom. This is an online class. But you do have access to me. I have office hours, I have an email, I've got a phone, you drop by anytime, and you know, if my office hours don't work for you, if you work during the day or you have something going on, we can set up alternate hours. That's okay. Rule number 2. I am explaining everything to you in the introductory video. There is a syllabus that also explains things to you, and everything you need is in the content folder. If for some reason you can't watch the videos, which are all uploaded to YouTube, so if your internet connection is sound, probably shouldn't be a problem, but if you have trouble, you must contact the NEO help desk. If you want to take your laptop to them, they're over in the library building. That is absolutely cool with me. I've got their phone number on here, and let me know that you're having trouble. If I don't know that you're having trouble, then I can't help you. We have discussions in this class. In fact, you're required to make at least 3 discussion posts per lecture topic. And in those discussions, you got to be respectful of each other. No name calling, no nonsense. Rule number 4, you got yourself into this class. Presumably, nobody else did it for you. You're not shocked to be in this class. So it's your responsibility to do your own work. Schedule's up there. I put due dates everywhere, and every assignment is open for 7 days. There's really no reason for anything to be late, unless you are hospitalized for more than 7 days, in which case, tell me about it and I'll be glad to make the exception. Regular things, though, I forgot the due date. I waited until Sunday, and lightning struck my house, and we didn't have power, so I didn't have the computer. That's your fault. It was open for 7 days. You should have done it earlier. Rule number 5, you write essays in this class. You must use an outside source for those essays. However, I expect your essays to be 80% your own words. I will run them through Turnitin, and Turnitin will tell me exactly what percentage of your work is original. If it falls below 80%, you get it back with a 0, and you do it again. Rule number 6, cite your sources. If you're quoting from me, or the textbook, or a reading, or a website on your essay, you must put it in quotation marks, and you must properly cite the source. I have instructions on how to do that in the content folder, and if you don't understand the instructions, you can email me, you can come talk to me, but there's no excuse not to try to cite it. Rule number 7, if you don't cite it, it's plagiarism, which means you get a 0. The first time you do it, you get a chance to redo that assignment for full credit. The second time you do it, I have to assume you knew what you were doing, so you don't get a chance to fix it. The third time, if there is a third time, you fail the course. It does not matter how well you have done on any other assignment. 3 incidents of plagiarism is a fail. Rule number 8. If you want to work with your fellow students, if you've got a sibling or a roommate in the class, or who's taken it before, whatever, that's great. That, especially with the readings, that's a really good way to work through those questions and understand what they're saying. But when it comes time to turn in your assignment, it better be your words. If I get multiple assignments that are identical, I have no way of knowing who did the work and who copied. So everybody gets a 0. Rule 9. The work you do in my class is original work. You don't turn in assignments that you've done for other classes. Rule number 10 is a list of websites that are not good for you to use when you're looking for sources on your essay. I have this information posted elsewhere as well, so there's no excuse for using Wikipedia. Rule number 11 is really for your protection. Sometimes D2L goes haywire. It is a good idea when you're taking the readings quiz to pop open a Word file and type your answers there, save it to your own computer, and then paste it into the D2L blank, and then submit it. That way, if D2L eats your answers, you've got it saved on your own computer. It's also a good idea to make sure you save every individual question. Say you're on the exams or something like that with multiple questions. Good idea to save each individual question. And Rule 12, you got yourself into this class. If you want out of it, that's fine. But you have to take the responsibility to get out of it. If you just stop doing the work, stop emailing, I don't hear from you, I'm not going to drop you. It will end up as an F on your transcript. It's your responsibility to get out. Rule number 13. 2 of the exams are taken on campus. They're proctored exams. The midterm, which is essentially just the Unit 2 quiz, Unit 2 exam, and the final exam, which is a comprehensive final. those must be taken on campus. There are 2 days that we have set aside for you to come in and take those. You can choose from either of the 2 days. If for some reason you cannot make it to campus, if you live a long way away, if you're a high school student and you want your high school librarian or a teacher to proctor the exam, that's okay with me. If you don't have an option like that, you can use ProctorU, which is an online website. It costs a small fee to be proctored, so it's in your best interest to try and be able to come to campus. But if you can't, we do have that option. You have lots of time to figure out and set up what you're going to do there, because I've already set the dates. It's already in the schedule. So it is your responsibility to make sure you can get those exams done. And I've also got a little pre-test in here. It's all extra credit, 10 points extra credit. You have to do the course rules before you can get in here and take this quiz. And as noted, sometimes D2L is slow. After do this first, we have information about those essays that I expect you to write. I've got a template in here telling you Times New Roman, 12-point font, double-spaced, 1-inch margins. All of that is in there. Information about where to look for sources is there. Information about how to cite, obviously, is in the footnotes and works cited document. And if you think your grammar's not that great and you're worried about that, I don't really grade for grammar. But if you're worried that I won't understand what you're trying to say, check the basic grammatical document. See if that gives you any help. And in Unit 1, you will have the links to the videos, you'll have the study guides, you'll have the readings, you'll have links to the quizzes, you'll have links to the discussions and links to the Dropbox, all right here in the content folder. The very first thing under every unit will be the study guide. I've already set the study guides for this entire semester. You can open every single one. You can see exactly what I'm going to ask you for the whole course of the semester. My exams take a lot of writing. Half of the exam is short answer. Half of it is an essay. Short answers are essentially who, what, who are they, what did they do, roughly when did they do it, and why are we still talking about them. It takes probably 5 to 7 sentences for each short answer. There will only be 10 when you sit down to take the exam, which means some of these will not be there. You'll have to answer 5 of them. On the essay, you have a choice of 3. Well, I say you have a choice of 3. There are 3 potential essays. That's a better way to say it. There will only be 1 on your exam, and you won't know ahead of time which one. That they're going to be over each individual lecture topic that we cover. So you have a chance to talk about Native Americans if that's the question you get, but you want to study it no matter what, because it could be the question you get. You will do these on D2L. There is the link to the lecture video. It's a YouTube video. So again, so long as your internet connection is doing okay, shouldn't have much problem watching the videos. They're in the 2 to 2.5 hour range. You don't have to sit down and watch them all at once. And then of course once you watch the video, you want to go in and discuss it with your classmates. Again, you got to make 3 posts per topic. You don't have to stick specifically to what I talked about in the lecture or specifically to what you read in the book. If you have information from elsewhere, you were watching the news and something came up, or you were talking to your grandma and she mentioned something and you want to bring that up in discussion, that's a great idea. One thing I do want to caution you though, it doesn't count if it's not substantive. If you go in and you see that another classmate has posted a discussion that you agree with, and you reply, "I agree," and that's it, you don't get credit for that. "I agree, and here's why," that you get credit for. But just yes, no, I agree, I disagree, that's funny, no, those don't count. And we've got the 3 readings that are on D2L. Remember, there is one for this unit that is on the course pack instead. And then right after those, there is the link to the readings quiz. We can go ahead and take a look at that. Now, there are 4 questions on the first readings quiz, 1 over each separate reading. You only need to answer 2 of them, but answer all parts of the 2 you pick. So if you want to answer question 1, which is over the Constitution of the Iroquois Confederacy, you must answer A, B, and C. 1A is not good enough. And if you want to answer 2, then you got to answer 2A and B, 2 complete questions for this quiz. And then we're going to have more lectures. There will be lectures in here before each discussion, videos, YouTube videos for you to watch. We've got information about your essay, which questions you can choose for your essay. The essays are essentially the questions from your study guide, but you only answer 1. You're going to write a 2-page, double-spaced, 12-point font, 1-inch margin essay answering 1 of these questions. So you can choose Topic 1, Question 1. What were some general aspects of the societies and governments of southwestern and eastern woodlands native cultures? Write 1 essay over that. You don't have to answer all the questions under Topic 1 the way you would on the exam. You only answer 1 sub-question. And right after the essay information is the essay drop box, where you just drag and drop the file once it's written. And once we get through 3 lectures, 3 discussions, we'll have a unit exam. In the unit exam, again, you'll do 5 of the short answers. You will have 10 to choose from. You'll answer 1 essay question. You won't know ahead of time which of the ones I'll pick, so make sure you study all of them. And then that completes your unit. There are 4 units that work this way, with a readings quiz, with an essay, with an exam, and with those discussions. Remember, exam 2 counts as the midterm, so you take it on campus. The final exam is comprehensive. The study guide for that is also up. It's going to be a little bit different. I'll give you the questions ahead of time. It is all essay, and it's about different concepts of freedom, which we'll go into, obviously, much more in depth during the lectures themselves. That will also be taken on campus. And we got a little folder where I will throw extra credit every now and then. So keep an eye on that. I will tell you in the news section if I've thrown some extra credit there. Sometimes I'll put links to different articles or different videos that I stumble across in here, and I'll also put that in the news section. Now, to check your grades, go to Assessment, and then click on Grades, which I'm not going to do because it will show everybody right now if I do that. So just know that it's under Assessment and Grades. I keep those up to date, so you should always have a handle on where you're at. If you see a 0 on there for an assignment you think you did, you need to get in contact with me very quickly. All right. Now, this is essentially how the class works. Every unit is basically going to be handled the same way. There's a real structure to this. But if you've got questions or you've got concerns or you want to sit down with me and kind of go over this again one-on-one, that's perfectly okay. Stop by my office and I'll be glad to do that. I look forward to seeing all of you on the discussion boards and then meeting you in February when we have the midterm.